It's a good record that you set.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
You dropped out of college.
While the country music community was celebrating the influx of phenomenal country singers, the unexpected took over the scene almost simultaneously. Some of the finest country singers suddenly faced a mental challenge that invariably slowed down their productivity. While some have successfully gone through it, others are yet to regain their former status. Take a deep breath, and let's run through 10 country stars who had major mental breakdowns. Number 10, Luke Combs.
I've had struggled with anxiety issues most of my life, and so
Luke Combs' fluctuating career has shaken the country music scene in recent years. Though he didn't start on this note, many have been surprised by his recent major fallout. Born Luke Albert Combs on March 2, 1990, he was responsible for the timely hits that rolled out of the archives of country music between 2014 and 2019. Every new day for Combs was an opportunity to showcase what he was made of, and for many years, he consistently surpassed limits in the country music scene. In 2017, Combs released his debut album, This One's For You, and without mincing words, songs from the album blew up the airwaves and charted in the top 4 on the Billboard 200. He also went on to release his second album, What You See Is What You Get, in 2019. And from a perfectionist's view, beautiful pieces from the album occupied the top spots. Songs like Beer Never Broke My Heart, Even Though I'm Leaving, Does to Me, and Loving on You helped redefine his place in the country music scene. Combs, over the years, has created a perfect niche for himself, and today he is referred to as one of the country's most constantly evolving musicians. In 2022, Combs broke the internet again with his third album, Growing Up, and honestly speaking, it was not like the average country music artist. Despite all these feats as an artist, Combs has also faced a downturn in his mental health. This, on many grounds, has significantly affected him, and in all ramifications, slowed down his productivity pace. At one point, he confessed that he was facing one of the most intense anxiety flare-ups due to a rare mental illness. He said he was battling purely obsessional OCD, a subtype of obsessive-compulsive disorder. The craziness of the particular disorder that I have, it's the way to get out of it. Like, it doesn't matter what the thoughts even are. You giving any credence to what the thoughts are is irrelevant and only fuels you having more of them, he said to interviewer Adam Hegarty. In a very emotional manner, he expressed how many times he felt some type of way about it. It held me back so many times in my life where you're trying to accomplish something, you're doing really great, and then you have a flare-up, and it just ruins your whole life for 6 months. When it happens now, I'm not afraid of it, because I'm not like, what if I'm like this forever? I know I'm not going to be like this forever now. Number 9, Luke Bell.
Abu Dhabi's that time of the year, and start of March.
Running an exceptional career and then falling like a pack of cards in the middle of it is one shortcoming no one will ever wish on themselves. However, the ever-increasing career of the country singer Luke Bell was put on hold on several occasions. Why is that so? Let's find out. Born Luke Bell on January 27, 1990, he was an American country musician and singer-songwriter who was too good to be ignored. According to Rolling Stone, Bell played classic honky-tonk with a wink and a yodel that summoned the sleeping ghosts of the country better than any voodoo spell ever could. His music was a specialty he cultivated for many years, and if you didn't know, you would think he was an angel with a human voice. Bell's rise to the limelight started in 2012 when he moved to Austin, Texas. There, he recorded his self-titled debut album and surprisingly produced the album himself. After he gained the attention of music lovers, he further went on to release his second full-length album titled Don't Mind If I Do. He wrote the album while working on a ranch and recorded it after receiving funding from a Kickstarter campaign. His relentless pursuit of success led him to several places, and just as he loved to excel in all he did, he released his third studio album in 2016. That same year, he also did a cover of the 1971 John Lennon song, Jealous Guy. Just when everyone thought Luke was going to stick around for a long time, he suddenly developed a mental problem known as bipolar disorder. This went on for many years, and all attempts to get a permanent solution failed. Several medications were administered to curb this ailment, but they only provided temporary help that led to more severe effects when the previous doses expired. This left him a shadow of his former self, unsure of what to do or how to react to his surroundings. While in Tucson, Arizona, Bell disappeared on August 2022 while his friend went out to eat. He was found dead in Tucson 9 days later, not far from where he disappeared. His family released a statement a few days later, revealing that his bipolar disorder had propelled his death. Even though medical practitioners later confirmed that he died from fentanyl intoxication, one could not rule out the fact that a mental disorder stunted him. Number 8. Chase Rice. Truly, it is frustrating to try to give your best to what you are passionate about, then suddenly be kept at bay by the cruel hands of an ailment. Even if it were for a moment, there would be significant damage, not to mention the ongoing consequences. Chase Rice, unfortunately, has faced some unforeseen circumstances that slightly wrecked his career. Born Chase Rice, he is an American country music singer, songwriter, and reality television personality. He first came to prominence in 2010 while he was a contestant on Survivor Nicaragua, where he was the runner-up to Judge Fabio Birza. That same year, Rice recognized the need to devote himself wholeheartedly to his passion, and within a short while, he began to focus on a career in country music. His career was made a reality by the inspiring words of his father, who told him, "Boy, anyone can play guitar, but no one is going to really listen to you until you start singing." His first studio album, Friday Nights and Sunday Mornings, was released on April 22, 2010, and for him, that album was emotional because the song Larger Than Life was like a tribute recognizing the timely impact of his father on his life. Altogether, he has released a total of 6 albums, with his third album opening doors of respect for him. It debuted atop the Billboard Top Country Albums chart, and his passion for good music has never waned. The nightmare for Rice started when depression almost caught him off guard, and he came dangerously close to taking his own life, if not for the timely help of his dog, who sat on his lap, inspiring him to create a music video to replicate what happened. In one interview, he stated that he would persevere and that no matter how long it took, he would ultimately win the war. "I'm in the fight," Rice tells Everything Nash. "I go through phases. I've gone through phases of having it together, and then, if I have too much time off, which I've had lately, I'm struggling to be honest with that. I'm ready to get back on tour. I need something to do. Not that I can't sit by myself, but overall, I'm in the fight and I'm happy, and I have a good group of friends, but I still have plenty of days where I'm like, oh man, I do not need this much downtime. This album's helping me out of that, to be honest." Though he has since learned how to manage it, it has come at the costly price of seeing a therapist every day. Number 7. John Osborne, Brothers Osborne. It feels terrible to see a career you have nurtured from the very beginning take a downturn just because you are met with something you never bargained for. Surprisingly, no one believed John Osborne of Brothers Osborne had it tough with his health in recent years until he came out publicly to reveal deep secrets. John, a member of the music duo Brothers Osborne, was born on April 27, 1982. He grew up in Deal, Maryland, and his passion and love for country music likely developed from his parents, who both wrote and played music. So, in a bid to continue the legacy, he refined his talent, and together with his brother, they formed the group Brothers Osborne. John and his brother TJ began their unique journey in country music when they were young, regularly joining their father, John Osborne Sr., to perform in a band named the Deuces and Quarter. They didn't let their zeal for country music wane. As luck shined on them, they secured a recording contract with EMI Nashville, a subdivision of Capitol Records and Nashville's Universal Music Group. In 2013, they released their debut single titled Let's Go There, which reached the top 40 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart. From this point, it became clear that they were going to stay on the shores of country music for a long time. In 2015, they released the song Stay a Little Longer, which became a top 5 hit on the Billboard Hot Country Songs and Country Airplay charts. This success led to the release of their debut studio album titled Pawn Shop that same year. It would have been much better if they had continued at this pace. Unfortunately, it wasn't so, as John's mental issues came to the fore and disrupted their activities. In an episode of Today's Country Radio, John Osborne spoke candidly about his struggles with anxiety and depression, challenges he says he has faced his entire life. "I was a very sensitive teenager who struggled a lot in my youth, starting in high school, where I described myself as the classic tortured musician. I've gotten very good at hiding it, but I've done a lot of therapy, and I medicate even. I'm not ashamed to admit that because I do need help. We all need help." In 2019, he suffered a meltdown while on tour, and without further ado, he went for a therapy retreat. "It was bad," he said at the time. "I got to a point where I was suicidal, and I ended up with tinnitus ringing in my ears, brought on by a lot of other different things. I wasn't sleeping. It got really, really ugly." In all these moments, one wouldn't deny that this has affected the brothers Osborne for many years. Number 6, Shane Nicholson. Speaking from a place of genuineness, Shane Nicholson is one country singer who does numbers, and for many years, this has been his way of life. You couldn't help but fall in love with this country singer, whose name has been etched in the hearts of music lovers. Born Shane Nicholson on June 4th, 1976, he is an Australian country singer and songwriter. Since the inception of his career, Shane has been more than phenomenal in exploring the various sectors of country music. During his final year of high school, Nicholson was part of a band called Freak, which won an early round of the Triple J Unearthed competition in the Sunshine Coast Division. Shortly after this, the band name was changed to Pretty Violet Stain and went on to release an extended play in 1997. Thereafter, the band split, and Shane decided to pursue a solo career, achieving various milestones with his songs. In 2002, he was signed to East West, and in collaboration, they released his debut studio album, It's a Movie. It was during the recording with Nash Chambers that Nicholson met Casey Chambers, and there they duetted on the lead single, Designed to Fade. In 2006, he released his second solo album, which included the single I Know What You Need, which became his first charting single, peaking at number 54. With his mastery of country music, he has released up to 11 albums, both in Australia and internationally. He has also been awarded some of the finest accolades, including the ARIA and Opera Awards. Even though his sphere of influence has no jurisdiction, he has, on many grounds, been stunted by the cruel hands of mental issues. For many years, he battled with depression, even to the extent that his relationship with his wife was completely battered. In this heated atmosphere, he channeled his thoughts into a song titled Hell Loose, which chronicled the honest thoughts of a man who has been broken and is coming out the other side. Musically, it's like a new chapter. I cleared out my entire stock. So I changed management, touring companies, booking agents, everything. I totally wanted to start again from scratch, were the statements of a man whose mental breakdown had gotten hold of him, and all he wanted to do was start everything again. Number 5, Jimmy Allen.
What's up, y'all? Jimmy Allen here. Welcome to the check-in. How does music help?
The world, at some point, was lost in the melodious composition of the country singer Jimmy Allen, and every time he was on a show lineup, the influx of country lovers could tell he had done his due diligence. Born James Edward Allen on June 18, 1985, he is an American country music singer and songwriter who did his part to popularize the genre of country music. Allen signed a publishing deal with Wide Open Music, a songwriting imprint formed by singer Ash Bowers, in 2016. After he did a wonderful job of showcasing talent for representatives of Broken Bow Records in 2017, his paymaster showed interest in him and signed him to the Stony Creek imprint. Shortly after, he released his self-titled debut EP, which brought him more influence across the world. A track from the EP, Blue Jean Baby, was added to Spotify's United States Viral 50 chart. As time went on, Allen was no longer a small player in the country music game. He had surpassed all limitations and continued to wow everyone. In 2018, he released his official single, Best Shot, and just as many had envisaged, he wowed music lovers. Without so much hesitation, it made the Hot Country Songs, Country Airplay, and Billboard Hot 100 charts. Allen became the first black solo performer to win New Male Artist of the Year at the 2021 ACM Awards, at which he also performed a duet with Brad Paisley. But despite all his efforts to stay in the hearts of everyone, mental challenges had a different plan, and for no justifiable reason, he has been limited thus far. From a tender age, he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and as he grew up, it became a problem for him when anxiety came onto the scene. I'll smile for the cameras and say I'm okay. I'm broken into pieces and no one can see it. The truth is, I'm always on the edge, trying to find the point of living. I'm barely hanging on, and no one can see that I'm constantly fighting with me, he said. Mental illness is something I have struggled with my entire life. Every day is a constant battle with myself. To everyone struggling, remember, you're not alone, and it's okay to say you're not okay. Number 4, Troy Casser Daly.
well, if you can't translate that into music, there'd be something wrong. And I think that's what I've really tried to aim at.
Time and again, Troy has consistently reiterated that his journey into country music is one of passion and not purely based on a jamboree. From the way he channels his emotions into his craft and how he blends his soothing voice with beautifully coined lyrics, you can tell he is beating all the standards set by previous country singers. Born May 18, 1969, he is an Australian country music songwriter and entertainer who always states the obvious when he has the opportunity to do so with the mic. Troy Casser Daly's passion for country music kicked off from a tender age. By 16 years, he was already touring with his band Little Eagle. He won the 1986 Search for a Star competition, and when he realized there was something within him looking for expression, he began to develop his writing skills. Shortly after, he went solo, and by 1993, he had enough original songs for a debut EP. His first official single, Dream Out Loud, came with many surprises, as it was released on October 24, 1994, by Sony Music. It stood at the #1 spot of the Australian country music charts for many days, expanding his influence among great minds and listeners. His first album, Beyond the Dancing, was released in January 1995 and won the ARIA Award for Best Country Album at the ARIA Music Awards of 1995. Today, Daly holds the record for releasing 13 studio albums, 2 live albums, and 5 compilation albums, including the platinum-selling The Great Country Songbook with Adam Harvey. After he lost his Maltese-Australian father to suicide, which followed a long illness arising from a stroke, he was thrown completely into existential panic, and just like in a movie, he was losing everything, including himself. Then came the pandemic, which denied Casser Daly the opportunity to tour and connect with audiences across the country as he had done throughout his adult life. This also affected his marriage to radio presenter Laurel Edwards. It was indeed a tough time for him as he was battling with what he could not entirely explain. However, when he discovered that his struggles could be alleviated by writing, he further put this into practice, and ever since, they have been reduced drastically. Number 3, Chase Bryant.
5 things that I do to help protect my mental health.
Born Chase Spencer Yacklin on October 9, 1992, he is an American country singer and songwriter. Bryant is the grandson of Jimmy Bryant, who performed with Roy Orbison. His love and passion for country music over the years have honed his focus and writing skills to suit the audiences he regularly tries to impress. In August 2013, Bryant signed with Red Bow Records, a division of Broken Bow Records. This was a major stepping stone for him, and after 1 year, he released his debut single, Take It On Back, which charted in the top 10 of Billboard's Country Airplay chart. The EP album's second single, Little Bit of You, was released on March 30th, 2015. Bryant began touring with Brantley Gilbert in early 2015, and together they made a name for themselves. This gave him leverage to become one of the 2 opening acts alongside Billy Currington on Tim McGraw's 2015 Shotgun Rider tour. It was a roller coaster for the young Chase Bryant as he continued to do what he knew best. He continued with Red Bow Records for a while until 2021, when he decided to go solo. Shortly after he left, he released his first solo album, Upbringing, that same year. Outside of the music space, Bryant was tormented by dark thoughts that almost ended his life. At one point in 2018, he nearly committed suicide, if not for the timely intervention of helpers. At that moment, I begged for somebody to listen, and I begged for somebody just to come down and help me, Bryant recalls both to People and in an exclusive video released Monday that serves as a heart-wrenching message to his fans. I just screamed out the word sorry as loud as I could, and I pulled the trigger, and here I am. It was gathered that anxiety, depression, together with a failed relationship contributed to his mental struggles. It felt like the world was crashing down almost indefinitely until he began to seek help. In an interview with People, he said that everything changed for him in 2016 when he encountered God. I want to say it was right after A Little Bit of You, which would have been God, probably 2016, he says. That was when things started to change for me, and I could feel that change coming on. And I think it was because I was having success as somebody that I really wasn't. Today, Chase Bryant has become an inspiration to people struggling with mental health issues, and through his actions, he has been an advocate for good mental health, speaking to those who feel all hope is lost. What an inspiring story. Number 2, Kelsey Ballerini.
his son and brother and cousin every day.
Did you feel any closure about, certain?
The country music industry, as we know, has some of the finest musicians, and Kelsey Ballerini is among the elite who cannot be underemphasized. In all forms of professionalism, she has brought a quality to the country music of today. Born Kelsey Nicole Ballerini on September 12, 1993, she is an American singer, songwriter, and actress. She is a 5-time Grammy nominee who is deserving of every accolade she receives. Her breakthrough in the music industry started in early 2010, and by 2011, she was already a big name. She began songwriting as a child and signed a contract with Black River Entertainment in 2014, which gave her the platform to release her debut studio album, The First Time, and her second album, Unapologetically, which followed in 2017. Many never saw it coming, and by the time they heard her songs topping charts, they were filled with surprise. Those 2 albums accounted for 7 songs on the Hot Country Songs and Country Airplay charts. 2020 was a good year for the singer, as she both released her 3rd studio album, Kelsey, and an acoustic album counterpart, Ballerini. It was nonetheless a hit, and music critics worldwide confirmed its popularity. The collaboration, Half of My Hometown with Kenny Chesney, garnered 2 Country Music Association awards. In a nutshell, Kelsey has also been honored with the Gene Weed Milestone Award at the Academy of Country Music Awards and the Rising Star Award at the Billboard Women in Music. Although she is everything one could want in a country music artist, she has also faced her fair share of challenges that artists often encounter. Ever since she was 12, she had continuously gone through therapy regarding her mental health, solely because of the devastating news of her parents' divorce that struck her. As she grew up, it became a lifestyle, and as the journey entails, she has never missed a day or two. I was starting to have questions like, what is driving me? Is missing mom's birthday worth it? Am I okay? And am I happy? I couldn't answer these fundamental questions I should have been able to answer, so I got back into therapy by my choice and fell in love with it, she said. She has also experienced progress in her mental health, and day by day, she can never be ungrateful. Here is what she said in an interview with Billboard. I'm happy and I'm in control of that happiness, she says. I feel grateful to have the people in my life that I do and to be able to put out a record on this level and play the rooms that I've always wanted to. I also get to go home to my dogs. Number 1, Marin Morris.
But I think it was like in Toronto last year, we were opening for the Chicks and...
Born Marin Morris on April 10, 1990, she is an American singer-songwriter deeply rooted in the country genre. Her songs resonate with the average person to the point that many simply flow naturally when her songs come on. Morris was born in the Arlington neighborhood of Texas, where she developed a passion for country music. She began singing at a very young age, performing in her preteen years and touring throughout Texas. As she showcased her endless talent, she became a qualified singer, and by her late teens and early 20s, she had released 3 studio albums on independent record labels. In a search for greener pastures, she moved to Nashville to pursue a career in country music. And guess what? She got what she wanted. In 2015, she released a self-titled EP, and as luck would have it, it was accepted by the country community. Fortunately for her, the world kept on asking for more, and before she could say jack, they were all singing her praises. After the success of her EP, she signed a publishing and a recording contract at separate intervals. Morris's major label debut studio album, Hero, was released in 2000 on Columbia Nashville and blended country with R&B. Its lead single, My Church, became her breakout single at country radio and was followed by commercially successful songs like 80s Mercedes, I Could Use a Love Song, and Rich. Morris's success undoubtedly came with a price, which she paid to be where she is today. She has also received numerous awards for the significant impact she continues to make on country music. Awards such as the Grammy, American Music, Country Music Association, and Academy of Country Music Awards are among the top honors she has received. Though she has always been a force to reckon with, she has also gone through her fair share of mental health challenges. In one episode of The Howard Stern Show, she opened up about her experience with postpartum depression after giving birth to her son, Hayes Andrew. In a debasing way, she shared glimpses of the many irregularities she faced after her son's birth. I think I was just starting to make very little sense to myself and people around me, Morris says when asked about her depression. I felt useless in the way that I couldn't work. I couldn't tour. Everything got canceled. It was indeed a tough time for her, as some old memories that shouldn't resurface began to haunt her once again. In a bid to be free from it, she sought medication and couldn't be less grateful when it offered her some freedom. Which of these country music artists is your favorite, and how did you feel when you found out they have been through such challenging situations? Please let us know in the comments. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe. Before you go, click on the video displayed on your screen.